During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
Yeah, thanks. First, I'd like to say congratulations to Scott Berry and Southern Miss. What a tremendous year, and it's tough and gut wrenching. When it doesn't work out at the end, and we know as well as anybody we've been on the other side of that. But as I've said, to a couple people, we all live in this state of this great state of Mississippi, which is just less than 3 million people, and 3 universities that were in the 20 to host, and 2 that ended up hosting, 1 that probably should have hosted that didn't get it, and all 3 teams make it to a regional final, 2 teams make it to a super regional. So it's a tough state, and I think sometimes when we're in our own bubble, we don't realize how good the other teams are. But Scott's done a wonderful job there, and today was one of those epic type regional finals, and so I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of my guys for hanging in there, and it wasn't easy, and we talked about that. We talked about that last night. We talked about it this morning, and one of the mantras is don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And we were good today, and we just made a couple more pitches than they did, or maybe a couple more swings of the bat. But again, Tim Elko, the legend continues, and then of course what the pitchers did and the guys did on short rest, no rest, guys that wanted the ball. Derek Diamond comes back, and throws, on a couple days rest. Doug comes and throws and, gets us off the field in the bases loaded situation. And one of the cool things, because I'll say it before it's even asked, we asked the pitchers last night, get ready, because, all hands on deck today. We need to know if you're okay, if you're healthy, can you give us, so know that question's coming tomorrow morning. And so if you need to see Josh tonight, if you need to see Josh again in the morning, Josh being our trainer, do that. And again, we need as many arms, available as possible. Well, last night I got home and got a text message from Doug Nikhazy, who he says, "Hey coach, I'll start, I'll relieve, I'll do whatever you need me to do, but I'm ready to go." And that those are special kids that really care about the program, and really kind of getting a little emotional, that makes what we do so cool, as a coach, that all they want to do is win, and they want to win for their teammates, they want to win for their university. So it was a good day for the Rebs.
We'll start questions off with Parrish Alford. Again, reminder, if you have questions, use the hand raise feature.
Hey, Mike, Southern was a little pitching depleted yesterday, coming through the losers bracket, but you guys didn't really exploit that like you seem to exploit their pitching today. What do you think was the difference?
Wow, it's a good question. I think it's what makes our game so great, Parrish. When we say, hey, it's just baseball, people that don't really love baseball or watch a lot of baseball don't get that. Their guys pitched well. The difference in a baseball game is that position, dictates so much of the outcome. And just because you're talented, sometimes you miss, and you miss over the plate, you make bad pitches. And so that's why anybody can beat anybody on a given day. And that's not trying to take anything away from those guys that pitched yesterday, because they got one of the best pitching staffs we faced all year. But I thought those guys that pitched last night were really sharp, and not only have good stuff, but made great pitches. And you could tell by the awkward swings that we got last night. Today, we seem to be a little bit better at the plate, and I think they weren't as good, they weren't as sharp today. So that's probably the biggest difference, is the pitchers probably weren't as sharp today.
Ben?
I'll be honest, Mike, I want to ask about Tim, but I feel like I keep asking the same questions at this point. So I'll put it to you this way. What else is there left to say about what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I tried to tackle that in another direction, as either last night or nights are kind of getting confused about, he's just really good, but enough's enough. Like, holy cow. it's legendary. And as I said on the radio a few minutes ago, maybe this is a different one for you. What seemed like maybe one of the biggest tragedies of not just our season, but of somebody's career here, getting hurt in early April, has turned into one of the biggest legends that we'll all be talking about, for decades. And so we're seeing it live. So it's pretty cool.
Nick Suss.
Mike, I think it ended up being 3.5 hours worth of delays for you guys. Just how did you keep the guys focused in there? And what was that second delay like where you had an hour in between outs in the second inning, keeping the guys in?
Well, credit them. It's not a lot of what we do, but just to kind of give you an idea, they had COVID testing this morning at 7:30. So, for a young person, 18 to 22 years old, they had to get up this morning, after late night last night, be here at 7:30 to get NCAA, tested for COVID. And then at 8 o'clock team meal, then we started, meetings, so we started meetings with the about their pitcher and so on. Then we go through batting practice and all the delays. But one of the things that this group has really been good at is handling those little things that are pain in the butt, adversity, whatever you want to call it, from all the injuries that we've talked about to other things that just haven't happened well. And so, we talk about, gosh, we'll never have another year like this COVID. Man, that just seems like a small part of what we've tackled this year. That was the story coming in, and that's been difficult, from not being in the locker room, together, not having team meetings, not having team meals, and all the things that, gosh, we all forgot about those things. We talked about that in the fall and early spring. So I think our guys have been tough and have kind of been weathered through that. And so a little bit of a rain delay or something like that, I think it's probably nothing for these guys.
Courtney.
Hi, Coach. Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports in Columbus. In your opinion, what do you think was the biggest difference maker between your team yesterday, last night, and today?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, offensively, we were different today. And, I thought, not only, last night we got, we scored 4 runs in the first, but part of that was their undoing. Their opening pitcher struggled a little bit. I think it was 2 walks and an HBP, and we only ended up getting, I think, 1 double, in the first inning and scored 4 runs. And then, the name escapes me. I want to say Harris, but Hall, so the last pitcher that they threw, just dominated us, the last 4 or 5 innings. But, today was different. We looked more like us offensively. We were able to put, chain some at bats together, as we call it, and put some more pressure, on them, and, get, some timely hits, and of course, some homers, and which, today was certainly at a premium.
Chase.
Yeah, Mike, you kind of answered this a second ago inadvertently, but just everything you guys have overcome injury-wise. I mean, I've been around a pretty long time, and you've had to kind of get through so many more things this year than most years to get to this point, win 44 games. I mean, proud, whatever you want to call it. They kind of just kept coming in a way that you don't always see.
No, you're right. And it's been so cool to watch and be a part of. And so, so much, we've played really good baseball, and we have some really great players, but the things that I think when we step back, you'll look at moments like today. Today will just be another win, and a lot of them. But when you look back and know that our backs were against the wall, and we started a freshman that actually was supposed to redshirt, and got his red shirt pulled, threw 60 pitches in relief, got the win, on Friday, and comes back and throws another 60 plus today. Derek Diamond, like I said, taking the ball, Doug Nikhazy sending me a text, and you would have had to, literally, you would have had to. He would have fought me today if he didn't pitch. And so, those types of things, I think, make today just a very special day, but one of a lot of special days this year where we just have overcome so much.
How did you kind of keep Jack loose, and what was kind of the what was the limit where he might not have could come back there?
It was a pretty warm day and it was pretty short. It didn't seem long. Did try to make sure that he didn't get too much air conditioning and stuff. It wasn't like the Weathersby in 2014, where he sat for about an hour and 15 minutes, and that was after, maybe 4 innings or so. But he didn't look like he missed anything. I mean, when he came back out, he looked just as sharp, just as fresh. His command was just as good. So, and you just don't know. But we had Adcock and Diamond, throwing and ready just in case he wouldn't. But he responded well to that.
Chris Muller.
Mike, obviously Taylor got named to the all-tournament team, but he was absolutely dominant all weekend. What makes him so dominant, and just talk a little bit about his performance?
Yeah, great question. Never gets asked. What makes him so dominant? I haven't had a closer like him. And when I say like him, what I mean is he can beat you in a lot of different ways. He can beat you with an above average dominant fastball. He can beat you with his command of his fastball, where he can throw it in, he can throw it out, he can elevate it, he can throw it a little bit off the plate. And he's got a tremendous curveball and a slider and a changeup. And so there's not many times that you see a guy at the end of the game that's got 4 pitches who absolutely dominates the strike zone. I mean, he just, you're going to have to hit him because he's not walking you. And so I think what makes him so special is he can beat you in a lot of different ways. And when there's hitters that, seem like they can't catch up to his fastball, he'll go more fastballs. When he, thinks that they, are, starting to attack his fastball, sitting his fastball, he can break and ball them to death. He can throw changeups into the strike zone. I think it's just when they go up to the plate, they really can't have an approach because he can attack in a lot of different ways.
Final question from Ben.
Yeah, Mike, you already touched on Jack, but looking at what he's done, I mean, every single situation you put him in, be it midweek, closing games, relief, long relief, whatever, now starting, it seems like he just steps up and does exactly what you need him to do. Just his emergence in that way that you can use him in any possible way.
You're right. And that's what makes it so cool to watch a true freshman do that. It's good stuff. But most importantly is, he answers the bell, whatever you need him, and come in tough situations. And you also got to remember that you said all the right things, but also another prelude to that is, he's done it in the second half of the season where most of those outings have come against really good teams, right? It's been in the SEC tournament. It's been on the weekends. It's not like he got to cut his teeth in some preseason weekend, non-conference weekends, or, just on a Tuesday night. And so, he's going to be a superstar here.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and get us going, Ben.
I don't know how to ask it, man, but you keep having these moments, Tim. So for you, are you surprising yourself at all? I mean, at what point does it get to be kind of ridiculous for you?
I mean, it's always my goal to just do whatever I can to help us win. And, whether it's with the bat or, I guess now kind of on the bases, not really, but, just doing whatever I can to help us win. I'm just trying to do that.
This was obviously a day in which there's a lot of pressure, and y'all know that pressure, but y'all have always bounced back, and this was another day where y'all bounced back. What does that say about this team and how just no matter what, y'all seemingly bounced back from everything this year?
Yeah, I think you just said it. I think that anytime we've faced some adversity, had our backs against the wall, anything of that sort, we've bounced back and, won games and played really well. And, some may say we play our best baseball then, which I think is a good trait. This team's got a lot of fight, probably the most fight I've ever seen in a team. The stuff we've had to go through this year is unreal. And I wouldn't wish it on any other team, but I think that we've handled it better than anyone could have imagined. And I'm so proud of our guys and so happy to be part of this team.
Nick.
Tim, where do you think that fight comes from? I mean, can you pinpoint a reason or a moment where you guys developed that resiliency?
I think just, we've got some old guys on this team, and, we've been through a lot in the last couple of years. And, we do a lot of stuff in the fall with Omaha Challenge. And, and like I said, we've had some tough stuff in the past couple of years. And, I think that we've let that, grow us instead of hurt us, and, pass that on to some of the younger guys on our team, and just got them on board with our culture of, we're never going to quit. We're never out of a fight. And, no matter what we go through, you just keep punching back. And, I think that that's just, one of the biggest things that we've seen on this team this year, and super proud of the guys.
Chris?
Can you talk about the mood in the dugout when Taylor Broadway comes in the game, as well as the mood today?
Well, we always say every time he comes in, we always say, we wouldn't want to be the other team hearing those bells coming in. But I mean, whenever he comes in, we know he's going to get the job done. He's the best closer I've ever seen, and man, am I happy he's on our team. And even a better guy off the field too. I mean, just all around, great pitcher, great guy. So happy he's on our team.
Ben?
You spoke about culture, Tim. You got you playing on one leg. Doug's basically threatening Mike if he doesn't get to pitch today, he's going to be upset. So there's a lot of that cultivated from you guys, the leaders, that no matter what, you're always wanting to be there and contribute in a way and help try to win.
I mean, I think that honestly, I think everybody on this team has that kind of fight and that kind of drive, and that want to sacrifice, make sacrifices for the betterment of the team, no matter what it takes. I think that everybody on this team would want to do whatever they could to help us win. And, I guess you could say that comes from some of the older guys, but I think that everybody's got that attitude as well. And that's what I think makes us so special, is that everybody would be willing to do the same thing.
After a marathon of a game like that, when you finally got the final out, what was it like? What was the sense of relief and just celebration like?
It was awesome. I mean, as you can imagine, anytime winning a regional is great, but I think it just felt that much better. Just, just a kind of a crazy game. And obviously yesterday with the loss and having our backs against the wall, and just keep fighting and keep punching back and, just keep going forward. And yeah, I mean, it felt great to get that last out and know that we're punching our ticket to Arizona.
Rick?
Yeah, Tim, congratulations. Were you surprised? Were you guys surprised, or were you surprised at the fight that you got from Southern Miss after they were down 9-0, and also after they were down 4-0 last night?
No, not surprised. I mean, we know that they're a really, really good team. Credit to them. I mean, they were hitting the cover off the ball these last two games. They had a lot of fight too. But no, we were not surprised. Obviously we were happy getting that early lead, but credit to them. They hit really well. We were throwing out our best guys, and they were still able to get some hits. But credit to them, and obviously credit to our guys for finishing it out. But no, we weren't surprised. We know that they're a really good team, and they had a great season, and credit to them for keep fighting back.
Courtney?
Tim, what was the message to the rest of the guys going into today?
I think that, kind of the same thing that we've been talking about, just keep going forward. Flush what happened last night, and come back out today and just throw the first punch, and just never stop. And, I think that that's what we did, and, never let losing last night get the best of us, and used it almost as motivation to, keep moving forward today, and, playing to the best of our ability. And, I think that we did that really well.
Final question from Nick.
Tim, I know there are a lot of personalities in that dugout. Where did the clapping thing come from today? Who started that? And just where did it come from?
Well, we actually, I hate to say it, but we saw it at Georgia, and we thought it was kind of cool. And in the rain delay today, we were playing it in the lounge upstairs, and we're like, oh my gosh, we should just do this today. So, we had them play the song and just kind of got it going, and everybody got going with it. So honestly, that's kind of what happened. And sorry, Georgia, didn't mean to take your thing, but we liked it. So thanks, I guess.
All right, Tim, thank you. Taylor Broadway will be coming up next. If you have a question for Taylor, get the hands raised and we'll call upon you. First question from Ben.
Taylor, after that marathon of a game, once you finally get the final out, what was that like? Just that entire moment right there.
Just a surreal feeling, and obviously just a everything we've been working towards this moment, and just to really just grab everybody and give hugs and just finally feel that, feeling, especially after last night, and just being able to bounce back, and obviously just, going to enjoy it for a little bit, but, job's not done, and we're ready to handle business in Tucson.
I'll ask you what I asked Mike. What do you say about what Tim's doing at this point?
Just truly an inspiration. I think every time he's hit a bomb since, I just can't help but give him a hug and just embrace him, and just it's something I've never seen before, and couldn't happen to a better dude, obviously. And just I'm so thankful he's on our team, and he's our captain. He does everything the right way, and I just look up to him.
Parrish.
Hey, Taylor, with the ball flying out the way it was today, how do you, as a power pitcher, a guy who throws really hard, have to be aware of that in a game like this?
Yes, sir. I think, it was kind of talking to Laugh down in the bullpen. He was just like, it's going to be one of those days you gotta battle against, when teams are doing that, and when it's going to be a day like this. And I just think the biggest thing is, trying to keep them off balance and mixing it up, and just doing, just filling it up, and making them hit your pitch, basically, and the pitch that you execute. And so that's the biggest thing. And just grinding it out in moments like that, and just never giving up.
It looked like you were using a lot more of your off speed, especially in the eighth. Were y'all calling the game that way because of how the balls were reacting?
Not necessarily. I just think, with how I can command my curveball, and how Coach B, likes to call the game with me. It's just, when that's working, it definitely helps. And then mix it. And then, because a lot of times people will try and sit on my fastball. And so, that's the thing. So just, keeping them off balance, and throwing the off speed every now and then definitely helps, and then complements my fastball. And so just, had the right game plan there, and went well.
Thank you.
Nick.
Taylor, this pitching staff's been through so much this year, with Gunnar and Doug and Maxwell getting hurt, and the bullpen going back and forth with who's used where. For you guys to get to this point where you're at, how impressive are you with the progression of this pitching staff from where it was in February to where it is now?
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show, like, the message from the top of just, from our coaches to our leaders and everything like that is just things are going to happen. And obviously this team's been through a lot, but just to see some of the guys step up, like Jack Dougherty, even, Brandon Johnson didn't travel a couple of times, and now he's, a guy for us. It's just, credit to those guys for not giving up, and just, almost putting their nose to the grindstone and just doing it on their own, even, maybe while we were away and stuff. That just is, you need guys like that, because when people go down, it creates a story for someone else.
Last call for questions for Taylor. Back to Chris.
Taylor, it looks like you broke the fence in the video. Can you talk a little bit about the emotion of celebrating with the fans in the outfield?
Yeah, just especially it being my last game here, just this fan base means everything to us, and students, obviously, left field, and everyone in the stadium. Just it's just great to be able to celebrate as closely as we could with them. So just had to climb the fence and just show my appreciation and everything they do for us. That's obviously part of the reason I came back, and to obviously to win a regional as well. But job's not done, and we're trying to book a trip to Omaha.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much. Great weekend.
Thank you.